Good evening, happy Tuesday, and welcome. When you hop on tonight, let us know you're here, say a quick hi. If you're new to my page, be sure and tell us who you are and where you're from so we can welcome you properly. I am Julie with Creations by Julie. Ed is behind the camera watching for the comments tonight and any questions. At any time, if you have a question, it doesn't necessarily have to be with what I'm doing particularly that night. If you have a question that you would like for me to answer, just ask away.
Brenda's on bracket.
Hi Brenda. Okay, I hope everybody's had a good week this week. We have had wonderful weather and it's been really, really nice. Rain, but nothing too bad, so we're great. Okay, I go live every Tuesday and Friday at 6:30. Tonight, usually first thing we do is draw names for the little gift from the week before, and actually tonight we progressed from the red cup to a bow because we were doing both lives last week, so there's a lot more names in the pot tonight. And the mystery word was ringboard, and that's what this is called, from Unique in the Creek. It's what I used to do the tulip wreath on. It's what I used to do the American flag on last week. You can use it for any kind of flower. You can use it for greenery and just do greenery. But there's a lot of different things you can do with this. Pretty much anything that you want an open part in the middle, like a regular wire frame or something. So some lucky person is going to get the ringboard tonight. Let's let Ed reach in there and pull us out a name.
Tracy Talbert.
Tracy Talbert. Tracy, I believe, was new to the page last week. Tracy, I do not have your address, so if you would private message me, and I'm not sure if Tracy is a normal follower or not, but we will leave the names in there, and if I don't hear from Tracy, then we'll draw again on Friday. But I will try to get a hold of Tracy. She's, you know, when you're not a normal follower, and if I'm not friends with you on Facebook, I don't have any way to get your address. So maybe Ed can kind of watch for her tonight, and we'll announce it again at the end. But congratulations to Tracy. Appreciate you coming by. Okay, tonight we're going to do something a little bit different, but it's still stenciling. And I'm going to introduce you to a new company. When I first started to do the signs and stuff, I tried several companies and purchased their stencils, and I tried several different methods, and I ended up liking this one the best. I actually put their name at the top of this video. I do not sell for them. I do not get anything from them, but I would highly recommend them if you enjoy stenciling. And the name is Essential Stencils. Okay, Ed, you may have to come down a little bit. I just have a couple of things here so you can see the name on it. They have the regular hard plastic stencils. A stencil is different than a transfer because it has the holes in it. You know, transfers has the mesh. These are reusable, and you don't have to put them in water immediately, and this was a brand new pack. They actually have their own brand of brushes, but you don't have to have those. All right, let me get these out. This is a pack of 3, and these are called their tag stencils because they also sell these cute little tags. They come in a pack of 3. And we're going to do one of them tonight, but they will stand this way, they'll stand this way. You can put a string on it, put beads on it, you can do both sides of it, but they're very smooth, and these type of stencils are made for them. They fit perfectly, so there's no guesswork. But tonight, I'm going to use this one, and I'm going to use this one. So I'm going to do 2 sides if we have time. But also, we're going to do the same thing this week that we did last week. We're going to do 2 lives using stencils, and I'm actually going to give away one of these tags, the Jesus, or the Amazing Grace. I guess you could take your choice. You could have either one of them. I'm going to use both of those tonight in a different pack. So yours will be brand new. And I'm going to give you one of the brushes. Now, a lot of people, when they stencil, they use makeup sponges, believe it or not. Basically, what you want is something flat and fairly firm. I did some with the makeup sponges, but once I got these brushes, I was hooked. That's all I wanted to use. I had purchased these at Hobby Lobby, and they're just stenciling brushes. And the difference between a stencil brush and a regular brush is you can see how this is flat and it needs to be pretty stiff. You don't want a regular brush that has all the different bristles and stuff in it. It needs to be flat. And then they also have what they call, I think they're called pouncers, but they're just foam, but see, they're flat. And you just, I think they call it pouncing or stippling. You just go up and down. I wasn't crazy about that, but it can be done. I will tell you the main reason that a lot of people say they can't stencil is because they have bleeding, which means the paint runs under the lines. There's two things mainly that cause that. One could be your brush. Two, your paint is too thin. You need a thick body paint. I like this Master's Touch from Hobby Lobby. It's a thick body and it only takes a dab. And I'm going to be using this purple tonight on this part. You can get other paints, and it's acrylic paint, not chalk paint usually. But you can use different paints on these stencils, and I'm going to show you how easy they are to clean. And it's not like the Magnolia designs that you need to get them in water pretty quick. These you could even wait till the next day and clean them, and they would be fine. But anyway, we're going to play, and I'm just going to kind of give you some tips as we go. But that's what the giveaway will be, and the mystery word is going to be tag, just T-A-G. But you're going to get a brush, a board, and a stencil. Okay? I love these little boards, and they're from Essential Stencil also. Comes 3 to a pack. If you enjoy stenciling, I would say like their page on Facebook. Essential Stencils has a page on Facebook. And if you like and follow them, every week they have about 4 what they call ambassadors, different people that show you new and different things to do with their stencils. And if you use their code, and you can do it every order that you place, you save 10%. It's Amanda from Modern Metal Design or something like that, and it's just METTLE, because it's easy for me to remember, okay? But the link is at the top. It's essentialstencil.com. Okay, now what I did, I went ahead and prepared a board that I'm going to use, and all I did is stain it, whitewash it basically. And to whitewash, you can use regular acrylic paint, and you just take a Clorox wipe or a baby wipe, and usually on these you want a Clorox wipe because baby wipes have a type of lanolin or oil or something in them. So, and then you just put it in the paint a little bit, and then you just wash it on, and it just gives it kind of a country look. You can paint it any color you want to. When you're stenciling, there's no reason that you have to do anything else once you paint your board. You need to let it dry really well, and I usually always let my stuff dry overnight before I actually stencil on it. This I did yesterday, so it's good and dry. Let's see, what else was I going to tell you about? With the Magnolia designs, you need to put, when it's wood, you need to put a little wax on the board. Purpose for that is those stencils are sticky. These stencils are not. They're plastic, so they don't stick to the board. All right, we're going to use that one in a little bit, I think. And I want to use this one. And see, it fits on there perfect. Now, you can use these for other things. Your shelf sitters and, chalkboard. So stenciling can be done on anything. Okay, but I'm going to use this one. And I don't think I need to tape it. If you want to, you always can, and I'll show you what I mean. I think I can hold it fine. But with this one, it's a perfect fit. So just put your painter's tape. Let me turn it around and make sure that's where I want it, and it is. So I'm just going to tape up here, and I moved it with the painter's tape so that it doesn't move on me, okay? You could do 2 colors if you wanted to. I'm just going to do 1 color. You want to make sure that your stencil does not raise while you're painting it, and you need something to put your paint in, and then you're going to do what they call, one of the main words you will hear in stenciling is, oh, I haven't opened this purple, offload, offload, offload. And I'll show you what that means. That's one of the main reasons things bleed. You have too much paint on your brush. We have a tendency to think you have to do it like your, and I don't need but just, probably not even that much, like you're painting a room or something. You got to have plenty of paint on that brush. Well, you do have to start with plenty of paint, but you want it to work. You don't want any paint here. It's better to have just a little bit of paint, because you can always go back in it. But what you want to do is put your brush down in the paint and then swirl. The swirling helps, see how it's kind of working that paint up into the brush. And I love these brushes because you don't get bristles in your work, you know, and when they start, then you either put a rubber band around them or go on. But it's better to have, you just want a little bit of paint. It's also very exciting when you stencil because you never know what the project's going to look like. All right, so I'm just going to kind of hold the stencil down. I don't like the stippling. I'm going to swirl. And what I'm going to do is just lightly. You don't want to push. You just want to hold the brush and lightly go over the stencil. I don't know how dark this is supposed to be, but I go back over it again. Now with this one, since there's straight lines, I could do that little bit of stippling. And then I just go back to this part, not my main paint, because these are little letters here. And, you know, I haven't been doing this that long. I do make mistakes, but hey, you just sand it and do it again. Because once you have the stencil, I mean, you can use it as many times as you want to. They clean so easy. But it's just a light swirl. You never want to push against your edge, because that could cause it to go over the edge. And this is what they call stippling. A lot of people, that's all they do. And you can use a makeup brush, not brush, a makeup sponge. All right, if you want to check it, you don't want to take the whole thing off. You'll hold it at one end and just raise it up and look at it and see, is there anywhere you've missed? All right, I see part of the S. Maybe it's meant that way. Yeah, there's a bridge there. Part of the S's and the E, but there's a bridge in the lettering. So it's dark enough to suit me. If it wasn't, I just put it back in that purple and go again. You know, when you want it darker, you just let it dry. Remember, Magnolia Designs, you wanted your stencil up before it was dry. This is not like that. I will put my brush in some water because I'm not going to use the purple again on anything. All right, and then I'm just going to take my tape and take it off. Just lift it straight up. And there's what you've got. It's a good, clean stencil. I want to do the other side, but I want this to dry really well first. So I'm going to put that there. And I may use this tape again. And I don't have to worry about throwing this in the sink. But let me show you how quick and easy it'll come off. You just take a wet rag. I mean, if you clean it as soon as you use it, that's how easy it is. There's a spray that Dollar General sells called Awesome, and it is awesome. Now see, I heard that pop. You want to be careful. See the little bridges? They're okay, and that's all you do. And then you let it dry before you put it back in the packet. Now, whoever wins tonight will get a new stencil, not one I've used. And I don't think I talked about what you need to do to get your name in the cup or the bowl for next Tuesday. You need to hit that little button at the bottom that says SHARE and put this on your page and SHARE with your friends, okay? All right, let's do something else. Let's use some white paint. I have this, I painted this with some chalkboard paint, and I think it's 5 by 5. I'm not sure, but Essential Stencils has a lot of different size stencils. They have the little ones, a tag like that. They have if you like to do the porch leaner signs, they have sets. They have just the individual letters to where you could spell anything you want to. Check out their website and look at all their different stencils. And if you find something you want to order, like I said, find one of the ambassadors and use her code and you'll get 10% off. All right, this is a set, what's it called? Spring Collection. And it's basically about 5 by 5, I think. This is the perfect size for the houses that I did last week too. But the ones in here says it is finished. I'm not going to use that one. He is risen. It's another one. I'm not going to use it. There's a little instruction thing in every pack of stencils you get. His love endures forever. I fell in love with these stencils. You just have to practice. You can get a cheap, what am I trying to say? Chalkboard from the Dollar Tree and practice on it. Practice on a brown paper bag. This is the one I'm going to use. For God So Loved the World. Okay? And I could do it in any color, but there's something classy about the black and white. Now see, my stencil's not as big. My stencil is bigger than my board, but that's okay. What? I just need to make sure I center it on it. Ed laughs at me because I forget my words. I'm going to let him come over here and sit one day and see what he can design. All right, I'm going to try just to hope that it does not move and try taping it this way. I don't think I really have to tape it because it's fairly small. And I think that's where I want it. Well, all right, I'm going to do white. Now, you're not going to be able to see the white on the plate, so I'm going to put it on foil. And, of course, I'll use a different brush. There again, this is the thick body paint from Hobby Lobby. And I buy it when it's on sale. Every other week, they put it 50% off. I think this size is $19.99, so you get this size for $10, but it would last you forever. Now you can, in fact, I'm going to, on the other side of this tag, use some acrylic paint. This is pretty thick, but if the paint's not as thick as you need it to be, just put it out on the paper and walk away. Let it set for a few minutes and it thickens. Okay, that's pretty small. The brushes come, I think, in 4 sizes. There's the small, I use the medium, and then there's this one, and then there's a big one. Okay. Put it in the paint and then swirl it. The swirling works it up into your brush. This is what they call offloading. And if you have too much paint, you just almost want no paint showing on the tip end of your brush. That's what causes the bleed. You'd rather go back over it than to have it bleed. And these are real little letters, so I may do a little combination of the, but you don't want your thing to raise, and that looks like it was too much paint. We'll see. Acrylic paint is not as forgiving as chalk paint. So if it bleeds too bad and you can't fix it with a little black paint, since this was painted black, you can sand it off and redo it. You don't want your stencil, and I usually get my fingers pretty yucky because you don't want the stencil to raise up. That first word worries me a little bit. I'm always excited to finish it and lift it up and see if there's any mistakes. Do y'all have any questions? How many of you have stenciled before? You know, you can buy stencils at Hobby Lobby. Have you stenciled before or not? You'll be shocked at how little paint it takes, actually. But if you enjoy, or if you're interested in doing porch signs, I would definitely recommend checking them out. And next week I'll show you. I'm not going to do a porch sign. I have done several, but I don't sell them in my Etsy shop because, I mean, they're 6-foot signs. You can't very well mail that. But I will show you some and show you the stencils that you use to make them. But it's basically done the same way. And the big boards you do have to seal because they're outside. All right, I'm going to hold part of it so I know it doesn't move, and I'm going to lift it up. All right, it's not quite dark enough. So I'm going to go back in here and pick up a little bit more paint. And just push it down. I don't think it moved. Let me check. Yep, it had. Let me go a little darker. Because this stencil's small. Small little words and letters. And you know, crafting's supposed to be fun. So, you know, don't get uptight about it. Practice, practice, practice. When it comes to the stenciling, that's what it takes. And I don't get uptight over anything if I mess it up. If I can't fix it, I just have Ed sand it off and repaint it and do it again. There's really not much that can't be fixed one way or the other. And like I said, you've already paid, there we go. You've already paid for the stencil, so, okay, there's that one. All right, I'm just gonna lay these over there and I'll wash it later. And see, this is going to go in this little thing, and I'm gonna do both sides of it. All right, now, shoot, I didn't think that through. I wonder if I can wipe, we're gonna see, this is an experiment. When I put this down in the thing, it wiped off my John 3:16. So now I'm gonna see if I can just totally wipe off the John 3:16 and go back in and paint it again later. And I can. This is chalkboard paint, so I was not sure it would let you, because this is not chalk paste, I was not sure it would let you erase it, but it did. So, I may actually, I noticed when I put it in here that it covered up the word John 3:16, and that's why it smeared it. So I may go back and put John 3:16. That's probably what I'll do. I'll put the scripture verse somewhere else. Okay, I'm going to do both sides of that one eventually. All right, let's try a white one and use some black paint. And I haven't decided what stencil I want to use for it. but I think I had picked out one out of this other sheet. Because I thought, well, I'll get two. I didn't tell you what that other one's called. This one's called Be Still, and there's 3 in a pack. This one was probably called It Is Finished. Yeah, It Is Finished, and there's 4 in this pack. Okay. And in this pack, I'm going to use this one right here. Be Still and Know, because I think I want to do the leaves a different color. It also has Grace Upon Grace, and you don't have to use the whole thing. If you just want to use one word, grace, you just tape off the other words. If I just want to use the greenery here, you just tape off and use it. And then Be the Light. That's what's in this one. But I'm going to use this one, and I am going to do the green. All right, I want to move it up a little bit so it doesn't take my, so when it goes in the thing down here, even if this top one goes off a little bit, you can see through them, so you can tell. All right, that's going to go up to about there. So I think I'm just going to do part of that one like it's going off the top. So what I'm going to do is tape it here on the bottom to where it's even. Let me pick it up. Make sure it's in the center of my, okay. And I'm going to tape off the leaves so I don't make them black. Do we have anybody on tonight? Y'all are so quiet. Ed, is anybody even there? I'm talking to myself. Okay. Let's put this up here. I probably know where Donna Smith is. She's watching the Baylor women.
Jeannie Smith, Lauren Chapman, and Lynn. I'm gonna mess her name up.
Oh.
I'm
Welcome, ladies. Jeannie, girl, I'm glad you made it through that little accident. But you're okay. All right, this one I'm going to do green. I'm going to use green and black. So I don't want to put my paint in water yet because this black one I'm going to do the other side in white. So a little tip. Anytime you're painting with anything and you're going to use your brush again, you don't want it sitting out getting hard. So just put it in a Ziploc bag and set it aside. Okay, let's do a little green here. And I just put a little bit. This is called moss green, I believe. No, I taped off. Y'all didn't tell me I taped off the green. I don't want to do the green right this minute. I want to do the black. So, there goes this brush in until I get ready for it. Okay. Put a little black on the plate. Hopefully it doesn't spew. Oh my goodness. All right. Can't believe I can't open it. Essential Stencil has a lot of different stencils. You just have to go check them out. Okay, this is what they call offloading. Get it, you can really see with the black. See how it's worked up into the brush, but you want to look to where, oh, that actually has a bristle. You want to look to where it doesn't look like there's even any paint on the brush. And you can use paper. You can use newspaper to offload on. Okay, let's go down here. You don't push real hard, you just gently either pounce or swirl. Sometimes when it's those little bitty letters, I do the pounce. Does not take much paint, and I'm not applying any pressure hardly. A little more paint. Oop. Drug it through there. That's not good. I hope that was off the stencil. We shall see. But I can tell you that was too much paint. Looks like it just caught the end of my L though. It's really very, it makes you feel really good to actually do one and it turn out okay. It's very rewarding feeling. Okay. Just gonna lay that there for a minute and see if I can grab the green. I really should dry it and then do the green, but for time's sake, I'm just going to go ahead and do the green. Because really what you would do is you'd block off the part there that's black because you don't want your paint mixing. I'm just going to do a real light stipple there and try not to pick up any black paint because they're just leaves.
Most of our leaves after the frost is big.
Yeah, they're not green anymore. Okay, now let me do this one down here. And I usually have paint all over my fingers. This is not the littlest brush either. I'd already used what I brought in here. So my green may be a little light. Hobby Lobby sells some stencils. I really have not bought any of them, but they would be done the same way. All right, let's just see. Oh, it's not too bad on the L at all. I see some of my green I didn't get, but I'm not going to worry about that because it's just a accent anyway. You want to take that so I don't get black on the table? Okay. All right, here's this one. I can tell part is no bleeding, but I can tell that this is darker black. And I can tell there's a few little spots here that, and it looks off-centered, but it'll go in this. So it'll sit down in there. All right, let's put that one aside and let me get a baby wipe. And clean my hands good before I touch this white board again. And I'm going to use the green first because I already have it out. Okay, so we're gonna take this. It should be good and dry. And I'm actually gonna go this way with it because I want to do Amazing Grace.
Black's hard to get.
Oh, I can spray it and wipe it off later. Just that's fine. Okay, we've got the green right here, so I'm gonna do the green first. Oh goodness. It's really close. Tell you what I'm gonna do. I am gonna tape it off because I don't want to. The G is, I mean, right there. I've used this one before. I can see because I used black. Sometimes black is hard to get it off. So I'm gonna try to just kind of cover that G. And it almost looks like the large G and the leaf run together here. I think I did it all one color before. All right, let's see. And you know what? If I mess up, instead of doing it black, we'll do the whole thing in green. You have green on one side. And what time is it? After 7. In fact, I think I may do that anyway. Spring colors. Green on one side. So let's just pull up that tape. Purple on the other. Why make it hard on yourself, right? And it's just for me. So you dip it in it and then you offload to where you don't have much on your brush at all. You'll see next week I'll do some larger ones and they have bigger letters. These smaller letters, the stippling or the pouncing seems to work better sometimes to get in all those little holes. You can buy some stencils that don't have the bridges, and then a lot of people I know, I mean the bridges don't bother me, and I just moved it. A bridge is like when the word is here. I don't know if you can still see this one, but the B and the E, you know, it's not a solid line. It's got breaks in it. They call those bridges. Some people take a little bitty brush and fill in all those bridges. Not me. It's just not that important to me. I would really make a mess because y'all, I'm a messy crafter and I can't draw a straight line. I'd start working on it and the word with the bridge would be the letter would be twice the size it needs to be. But actually, some people think stenciling is intimidating, but if you just practice, it's not. It gets easier. You just don't push hard and you don't try to get all the paint you need in there at one time. It takes less than you think. All right, I want a little bit more on those leaves down here. Okay, there's the Amazing Grace. So we have, now you could take this and put jute through it, run you some beads in it. It would go on a tier tray, it would sit on a desk, and then you've got one that you could do this way. But they have all kinds of little tags for every holiday. I was going to do one with 4th of July, but we'll do it another day. All right, so that gets that one. It's done totally, both sides. So I know I'm not using green again. Let me put it in the water. And let's see, y'all want me to do the other side of What did I do with the white? I put it on the paper, didn't I? Okay. Let's do another one. This one should be dry. Let's do one for this side. Okay. So we can, there's grace upon grace. What did we put over here? For God so loved the world. That would be a good one. Or be the light. Let's do be the light in a bright white. All right, I'm going to bring it up a little bit because I remember the little stand took part of my paint off. So there again, that makes it easy for me to know it's level if I just do it back here. Normally I would use my teeth to cut the tape, y'all, but I'll refrain. Okay. Okay, I've done forgot her name. What was the name of the lady that won?
Tracy Talbot.
Tracy, I wanted to,
I haven't seen her.
I wonder if she's kin to Leslie. We'll have to find out. Our daughter-in-law's maiden name is Talbot. Okay. So I'm just gonna use the paper. Won't take much. And then I'll let y'all go. I basically told you the tips, and go check out Essential Stencil. All right, we're gonna pick it up, and then, so you can offload on anything. Doesn't have to be a paper plate. And you just barely have paint on it. What's really cool is that you could make your own little signs and stuff and make gifts and use the same set of stencils over and over and over. I put out way too much paint. A lot of times, if you're afraid you've got too much paint on your brush, like the porch signs, you can go, because they're big fat letters, you can go in the middle of that letter and you won't worry about bleed through. These are all tiny. And believe it or not, Ed, get the bless the food. I'm going to show you the first one I did and why I chose something so big and on black canvas at that. But I did, but I didn't put it in shop to sell. No, the big black canvas right there. It's hiding from him. It's on my coffee bar. Hang on. And of course, it's not perfect, but I know it's the first thing I ever try to stencil on, and I hear him wiping the dust off of it. Okay, let's check this. All right, I didn't quite center that one either. You can see I came over this way a little bit too much, but that's okay. All right, so that's that one. Here's the, and it's big. Here's the first thing I tried. And it says, bless the food before us, the family beside us, and the love between us. And you talk about nervous when I pulled it up. And actually the letters, I had a little bleed through here, and I think I had some dots up here, and I had to touch them up, and I think I had touched it on the side or something, but I told Ed I'm not selling that, I'll just keep it for myself. But if you're new to stenciling, don't pick something this large, but this is one of their stencils. So just don't pick anything that large to be your first thing. All right, I'm trying to make sure I get my stencils I need to wash. Okay. Okay, that's it pretty much. I am gonna go back and put something else on the back of this one, but for time's sake, we'll quit for tonight. There's the tag and the Amazing Grace. And I may put it on my tiered tray or something. Those are just the perfect size. But if you missed the first, the key word, let me get my brushes in water. The key word is tag. And you're going to get, let me check my hands. You're going to get one of the tags and the little jute. You're going to get probably the smallest of this, because the tags are small, of the brushes and a stencil. The either Jesus or Amazing Grace. I'll let you pick which one you want. Or I guess you could pick the other one if you want to. They're all in the set. What was it? He is risen. But I mean, Easter's going to be here before you know it, and then that one you won't use till next year. So, okay, well, I appreciate y'all stopping on. And if I can answer any questions, let me know. And we will be back Friday night with some larger stencils from Essential Stencil. I'll show you the ones for the porch leaners and the porch boards, and we'll talk about what you have to do to the wood and what you would use to seal it and all that good stuff. And then it'll be the same. Share those words tonight. Mystery word is tag. Put it on your page, and do the same thing Friday night. We will draw again next Tuesday for the winner of that. And if I don't hear from it was
Talbert.
Tracy. If I don't hear from Tracy, I'm going to keep the names in the bowl, and we'll draw again Friday night. You know, I don't have any way to get a hold of her, probably, but we'll see. Maybe she'll see the replay. Tracy, PM me. Send me a message with your address. Thank y'all so much, and we will see you Friday. Bye.